Hello, it's me, Kat, and I'm here today with a gift for you, and this is our Friday Patreon video. It is a video from one of our well over 600 videos that we have. I just take one from the back and send it out here for you to enjoy. It will still be relevant, of course. All the videos are relevant, and if you decide that you want to receive one every day, 5 days a week, all year long, then come sign up. Go to patreon.com and sign up. You have 3 tiers to choose from. The first one is $5 a month, and that gives you a video every single day, except Saturday and Sunday, but every single weekday, Monday through Friday, a fresh new one. If you go to the second tier, which is $25, that's a mentoring from me once a month, personally helping you through our system, and you get the videos, so that's pretty cool. And then the third video, the highest tier that I have right now, is $50 a month. And that's for those of you who are looking for a little bit more. You want 2 personal mentorings a month of 25 minutes, and then you want to be able to access the videos. So these are the 3 tiers in Patreon for you. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope to see you soon on Patreon. Hello, patrons. Today we're talking about a little nugget, and it's called Inspect What You Expect. And that means when you give your children jobs or responsibilities, it's your job to inspect those things to make sure that they did their job. So you are inspecting the job that you expect them to do, or the chore or whatever it is that you expect them to do. So this can start very small. If you ask a little one to put something in a basket and you walk away, when you come back, if it's not in the basket, you're inspecting what you expect. And you say, uh-oh, you didn't put it in the basket. Let's put it in the basket. Following through, always following through, always making sure that what you said is what you meant and that your child understands that you're not going to forget, okay? So the older they get, the better they get at that. So if you give your child the job of maybe part of the basic weekly home blessing hour, and you want them to dust, and you've given them a beautiful feather duster, you've shown them how to do it, you want them to spend less than 10 minutes, and you tell them to run through the house and dust everything. And you say, while you're doing that, I'm going to be doing X, Y, Z. And when you're done, I'll check. And when you come back, if they're laying on the couch playing a game with this feather duster laying next to them and nothing's been dusted, it's your job to inspect and not act like you see that, but look at the furniture and say, this furniture hasn't been dusted. I'm very disappointed. I asked you to do this and you didn't. Instead, you chose to do this. So I'm going to have to give you a consequence. I always call them circumstance, a consequence, because you chose not to do the job I asked you to do. So give me the feather duster, and I'm going to feather dust, and I'm going to think of whatever it is that I want you to have as a consequence. And the next time I ask you to do something, you will do it, or you will have a consequence. It's your choice. And they're going to get mad at you and say, that's not fair, I didn't even hear what you said, and you know, all the silly things, and you just ignore that. And you do the job, because the job has to be done. That's the thing. When you give a child a job and they don't do it, you have to do it. And you're not mad because you have to do it. For heaven's sakes, it's a less than 10-minute job. You might be aggravated, but you're not mad, and you're not trying to get back at your child. You're just giving them the life consequence of not doing something they were asked to do. And that is called inspecting what you expect. So if you have a teenager and your teenager is supposed to mow the yard, and you say, okay, today is the day you're going to mow the yard or wash your clothes or whatever it is, the job that they're going to do. And they're big, they're not a baby, and they know it, you've talked about it, and they don't do it. And your job is to inspect what you expect and provide a consequence if they didn't do it. Or if they did do it, and I don't care if it's done a little on the sloppy side, it's done, and they did it, they made the effort, or they did it to the best of their ability, your job is to say, you are an awesome kid. You are an awesome son. You are a fantastic daughter. I am so proud of you, and you know what? I can always trust you. You always do what you say you're going to do. You're a trustworthy person. You know what you're doing? You're building character. And that's what we want in our children. So inspecting what you expect is just a step to building the character in your children. This is not because you are some all-powerful thing and you want all the work done by the kids and they are slaves and you are driving them around. No, that's not what it is at all. What it is instead is a character-building exercise. Everything you give them, not only does it build character, it also teaches them how to do things that are important to do in life. So boy or girl, man or woman, they'll know how to do the things that need to be done. And another thing is to teach them how to clutter check, because I'm going to tell you, I knew how to do everything, but I didn't know how to keep it from getting cluttered again, because my mother was born organized. She didn't realize that I needed some training in that area, because she's not missing it, so it's foreign to her. So for me, I needed someone to say, Kat, here's what you have to do. In the morning before you leave your room, look around. See if you left anything in there that looks out of place. Put on mama's eyes and look. When you come home from school, look around in your room. Make sure it still looks good. Before you go to bed at night, look around in your room. Make sure it still looks good. We have to all do this in our whole house to keep it from getting cluttered again, so it'll always be easy. You're saying to your child, I want this to be easy for you. I don't want you to work more than 5 or 10 minutes at a time. That's all I want you to do. I'm not going to overload you, but I'm going to tell you one thing. When I ask you to do something, I'm going to inspect what I expect. And if you choose not to do it, there will be a consequence. And it won't make you happy. But it's what you chose. It's not me, it's you. And I'm going to do the job that I ask you to do. But you're going to have a consequence. And it could be an immediate consequence, or I'm just going to remember that you have to have a consequence. And then when I think something's worthy enough, I'm going to give it to you then. I'll give you the consequence then. So when they get asked to a party or to spend the night, sorry, that's your consequence. So inspect what you expect. It's your job to inspect their jobs. It's your job to do the job if they chose not to. They can't say, oh no, Mama, I'll do it now, I'll do it now. It's too late. You have to do it when you're asked to do it. You don't want to raise children that you have to ask 40,000 times to get something done. The first time you ask is the time you ask. If we're talking about big kids. Now, little tiny kids, they need a little coaching, and sometimes you need to be right there with them. The bigger they get, the less coaching they need, but they still need coaching. A 10-year-old needs coaching. A 12-year-old needs coaching. A 14-year-old might need a little bit of coaching. They shouldn't, but they might. It depends on your child, and you know. But at some point, you have to say, this is the only time I'm going to ask. So if you don't do it, you're going to have a consequence. And the consequence has to be something that makes them not want to do that again. Because you're asking them to do a fun little 5 or 10 minute thing. It's not hard, it's fun. They can put on music. They can dance while they're doing it. They just have to do it. And instead, maybe they're going to miss a whole evening of fun with friends. Or they're not going to be able to use their phone for 2 days or something intense, right? So you want them to learn to do it right away. All right, that's Inspect What You Expect. I'll come back tomorrow with another nugget, and I hope you have a fabulous day. And always remember that you are beautiful, so be beautiful.